I've got a odd format video today. I wanted to do a creator spotlight. This is scales. Now, okay, I know you're saying, who is this guy? Who is that? Uh, yeah, and that's true. My man only has 12 subscribers right now, fairly unknown in the Valheim community overall, but not to me. Scales is a wonderful community member of mine, and I do want to put that fact out of the way that there is bias. I enjoy Scales' content. Scales enjoys my content. A lot of the good information, even surrounding certain aspects of building, like the cart-friendly base that he's got going on here, most likely came from me. But Scales executes things so perfectly that even if I was just some outsider, even if I'm putting bias aside, I have to commend him. I have to give him props for this. So this run that he's doing is, I believe, get the Black Forge before killing any boss. You can see that he's in between like bronze and root, or not, yeah, bronze, root, in between bronze and iron and all of that, but he has no Forsaken power. So no Forsaken power, he's trying to do this stuff. And yeah, how to handle the swamps at nighttime, acquiring chains. There will be some interesting strategy done, and it's just executed wonderfully. Check this. Potions. Wonderful that when you're doing nighttime adventures, you really want to have one of each of those potions. So normally during the daytime is 21 minutes. It starts to get darker towards the end of that 21. So you can effectively be like, okay, it's 20 minutes. So when you're bringing your resistance potion out during the daytime, you only need 2 of them. But if you're bringing your resistance potion at nighttime is 9 minutes. One potion is going to cover you for the whole journey. And because of that, you drink one, and you have 2 free inventory slots ready for you. Now, what makes this super interesting, and what I normally never did, was the frost resistance mead. This is huge to mitigate the cold. Now, I never usually did this because I like to stock up on frost res at the time so that I could venture early in the mountains. Get a little bit of iron, my iron pickaxe, my iron mace, maybe buckler. Go up into the mountains, I can deal with golems as they come. Smack the ground with Stagbreaker. He's got a Stagbreaker here. And then find early silver. You go 120 meters or higher. That's where silver starts to spawn or generate. And then you bonk the ground. Make sure there's no obsidian around because it'll ping the same too hard message. You want to see the too hard message? Boom, there's silver under there. Mark it, set it up, mine all around it. Lovely. Early silver. Super, super nice. And you can go back and forth iron and silver, and that's a lot of fun. What's super interesting here is that he's made Frost Res Mead, and he's using them early for his nighttime swamp adventures. Why would you want to do nighttime swamp adventures? Acquiring chains. Oh yes. So specifically, earlier on, getting chains, not going to be too hard necessarily, but less frequent. If you snipe the raids early, get the chains for an early Forge Bellows. You'd want to use fire arrows because raids are weak to fire. He's got wood arrows because he wants to level up pole arms here, which understandable, the Atgear's a beast. And yeah, I normally wouldn't do that. And I looked back. I looked like into the future rather. I make a ton of fermenters for the Mistlands age because normally, like in a solo world, if you're doing mage or if you're co-oping with a mage, it's like, okay, you want major healings, lingering stam, minor iter, tasty mead, because tasty mead will stack with lingering stam. So that's 4 meads that you're going to be fermenting during this process. Maybe even fire res for 5. That's a lot. So I usually like to have 5 fermenters for an even 30 meads at a time. Lovely. I love that. Now, looking backwards, in the swamps, you have medium healing from like all the blood bags and stuff. You can make the root harness, can venture out into the plains because the pierce res. You can get cloudberries, and now you're fermenting medium stamina. You can use a root set and sniping to target small like plain stone structures where there's like 2 fullings. Raid the chests. They could have barley. Boom, you have a barley farm. That's fire res mead. That's 3 now. Of course, frost res for the inevitable mountains. That's 4 meads. And then tasty mead. 5 meads. Just like during the Mistlands. So I'm thinking, okay, now I should make the 5 fermenters way earlier at this transitional swamp and Black Forest period. Because I can actually have a higher production, make all of these meads, and I can use the frost res in the meantime for nighttime adventures. This is a huge development in progression from scales. The mead production is going to be so much better, and it's going to be so much more convenient. My 2 fermenter have-an-ass is not going to suffer any longer until Mistlands. Oh, no, no, no. Bronze Age, I'm getting them. And I'm fermenting. Now, let's keep going. I'm literally 8 seconds in. Let's go. Swamp Adventures. Root set. He's going bow, at gear, stag breaker, all of the goods. He's got sword. He wants to invest in sword. That's a good option. Oof. Nighttime at the swamp. Yep. It's always going to be this brutal. We really need a gamma setting so that we can make this look better. So the biggest thing that he's looking out for is wraiths. They spawn up and then they descend down, straight down, coiling around unless they see you. He's got Stagbreaker. Investing in sword, that beautiful one-handed. You don't need to put the shield on every time. Yeah, Stagbreaker right there. Being able to bonk the blobs mid-jump while they're not really doing anything and they're just approaching you. Making beautiful use of that AoE. And there's a Wraith and Draugr. Beautiful movement to get the middle mouse angle right. Spin to win 6 times. Stagger ratio to... Ooh, lucky Wraith drop. Spin to win stagger. Damage to stagger ratio is 6 times. So he's able to stagger that Wraith even though it's resistant to pierce. And the Draugr, of course, doesn't stand a chance and he's just decimating it. I can only assume he's already done early Forge Bellows because he has early quality for bronze gear. That is definitely the way to go. Look at these bow skills, even on skeletons that are resistant. Oh, he's decimating them. Look at that. Beautiful. Love that. Hold on, let's go back. Let's check these skills. Oh, hold on, scales. Pickaxe is 61, my man's been mining. Bow's 56, he's been sniping. Oh, he's been sniping. So he's been primarily sniping everything. Basically, you get these levels by not dying, but mainly sniping. You use a bow for pretty much everything. So all of your meadows encounters, you go out of your way to snipe everything there on like all of your trolls. So you're sniping all of your trolls, getting your headshots because that's a weak point ever since Mistlands update. And then me personally, I would also, to get that level up, I would use fire arrows and snipe A-bombs. But he wanted sword levels up. He's got swords 39, clubs 40, run 81. That's from like probably building a lot. But yeah, he's been getting these skills up from this challenge run. And yeah, I mean, it's showing. He's kicking all sorts of ass. Love it. Yeah, having this chain early is so good. Iron cooking stations, all sorts of really good decorations, but more importantly, the inevitable black metal shield. It's a really good thing. Check this, okay? Normally, pre-Mistland, swords versus leeches, terrible. The hitbox was no good. Too high up. the vertical hitbox of the normal swings was buffed in the Mistlands, as well as the length of the middle mouse poke hitbox. That's been buffed too, but the middle mouse poke has been made a little bit narrower as a result. Still very good, just space your stuff correctly. Now, in addition to that, one-handed swords now have cleave in the Mistlands so that they don't suffer from multi-attack penalty or multi-target penalty. This means that you can just smack multi-targets, including rocks and stuff. You don't really have to worry too much about positioning, spacing as much. Just smack and smack away. And what this means is that during the swamp adventures, you can just smack the hell out of leeches because your vertical hitbox is great, and you have the cleave, so you can smack a bunch of leeches at once. And because it's melee and not range or an AoE, the leeches won't swim away from you. They'll walk right up. So he's got poison res, so he can deal with leeches bites no problem, and he can just smack them right away. Let's check this. Yeah, so as long as you stay in the shallows and you don't start swimming, it's going to be an easy kill. Look at this. Look at this at gear. Classic. Classic spin to win poke city. That's classic. I mean, you're just controlling and decimating a target before they even have a chance. I mean, so nice. More leech kills, everybody loves that. Yeah. Wood arrows, fine wood bow quality 4. One shot, Draugr from sneak. Easy bow levels. That's another way to get your bow levels huge in the swamp, is just sniping a bunch of stuff. Nice spacing there. Really excellent. So, a lot of people are of the mindset that, like, at gears are just absurd stamina drainers, but, like, look at this little technique. So he sees the Draugr, it's aggroed, he pulls out the at gear, he's like, oh, we've got relatively low stamina. This is enough stamina to kill the Draugr, but he exhibits really good habits by doing this little walkie walk off to the side. More distance between you and the enemy, well, more stamina regained for the encounter. Check it. Walk, walk, walk. Yeah. 2 hits. That's all it took. Control. Enemy doesn't stand a chance. You don't take trade hits. You just demolish him. No need to wait for a parry. Just demolish the target. Checking for wraiths again. Just great habits. Spin to win and poke. Checking for wraiths because he knew the target was dead. There's a dead man walking. We got another snipe. That's beautiful. So yeah, this wraith checking is just so important. I don't normally do this. Like, I love the sense of the wraith just coming down and, like, just you reacting to it. But any new player, I would recommend looking up just like Scales' because this is technically the right way. You don't really want to get ambushed by a wraith if you're in some sort of other big encounter, like especially with A-bombs at night. No. I once had a double wraith and an A-bomb encounter. I had to run. That could have been avoided. Do what Scales is doing. There we go. Look at that. The checking paid off. So, oh, this is huge. Check this. So, he used sword because he knew he could 1-2 tap that skeleton. No shield required. However, he already had the sword out, and swapping would take time if you swap to at gear or what have you, because the wraith was already going to be in his face. So what did he do? Well, this is the time to pull out the shield and parry. When you have no time and you have to react. Parry is a reactive strategy. So the best time to use it, if you have no other proactive options, is when you can react like this. Look at this. Boom, boom. Pull out shield. He made space. Honestly, he could have swapped at gear there, but he's flexing. Let's check this. Middle mouse. Even though wraiths resist all physical, still a one-shot. Really nice. There will be a better parry example later. Look at this. He just doesn't care. And why would you with poison res? You just smack the crap out of them and invest in sword levels. Especially considering the Mistwalker coming up. Oh, so good. Rolling. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That parry right there. That's a good parry. And yeah, parry on Atgeir underrated, but also very niche and situational. So he's approaching the target. The target, in this case, the Draugr Archer, is going to attack him before he has the chance to spin to win. So why wouldn't you just parry and then poke twice? Of course you would. It's going to be a faster, controlled kill. Check it. Woo! 1-2 and he's dead. Beautiful. Of course, the Atgeir is out. You're ready to spin to win if any other nasties come by. Get them proactive control strats. Love that. But, yeah, my man knows how to use everything excellently. Oh, look at those jumps. Really good traversal. Of course, his really high run and jump levels are helping him out here. Run and jump levels are really important, but you'll most likely have just a ton of run and jump levels from just like building if you're a builder, so just don't sweat it too much. You'll have the levels. Like, it's really hard not to have high run and jump levels. Those are feel-good stats, you know what I'm saying? When all your other melee skills are low, if you're like a first-time player or like kind of new, those are your feel-good stats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You'll always have high run and jump levels. So something that doesn't happen in this video is the Oozer. Really good way to get some early iron for a stone cutter, like a really early stone cutter or some shenanigans pre-elder. If you want to build up your base with stone before troll raids can happen. You fight 2 Oozers, minimum 2 Oozers. And they have a 33% chance of dropping scrap iron early. So you can bring it home, smelt it, boom. Early stone cutter, super good. Love that. Now he doesn't have bronze mace for the Oozers, but he's more concerned with the wraiths right now. Look at this faction fight. So he's going up there, lets them fight, gets the pokes in, spacing. He takes the high ground so that he can get the good attacks. Really wish you could just aim up and down, but in the meantime, taking high ground, understanding like what pieces of land won't slide down so that you can be stable. Here's another wraith. He gets that good area, and here's the thing, okay? This is why this is a skill investment playstyle that he's doing and not totally optimal. As I mentioned before, fire arrows for wraiths. Wraiths are weak to fire. He did not bring fire arrows because he wanted to invest in Atgeir. However, here's the mistake. Sometimes you get into these vertical situations where bow to Atgeir swap is too good because the wraiths get sent too far back where you can't poke them anymore. But they're staggered, so you want to finish them off. Well, swapping to the bow, just launching a fire arrow, that's your best way. And he does not have them, so let's take a look. Investing in skills is still valid, so this isn't like, you know, terrible, he's gonna die mistake, right? You know? No, you make this, what is it? You take this drawback on purpose to level your skills. Yeah. It is playing the long game. He wants those Atgeir levels up, and for good reason. No A-bomb and Oozer's unfortunate. I would have loved to see what he does here. Something else to mention, his food isn't terribly the best, right? But that he's still kicking ass. Like, he could have way better stamina food, because he's in the swamp age. He could have turnip stew, carrot soup, and like a better like health food, like sausages, and he doesn't. He's doing basic food, and the people that say at gear takes so much stamina, a fat L here, just a huge L. Look at this. Look at the spin to wins here with bronze. He doesn't even need to do that. He doesn't even need to spin 3 times there. He could have just poked and then let stamina come back and then poke again, and just like killed them like that. But he does it anyway, just flexing, you know. He probably just wanted to make sure that the root wouldn't cause any problems with the multi-attack penalty, because at gear spin to win does not suffer from multi-attack penalty. It does cleave, but still, it's like, you know, he definitely didn't need to do that. He was fine. He would have totally killed them with pokes, and then one more spin to reset, and it would have been more stamina efficient. But he totally didn't need it. Like, you know, you don't need that with the ad gear. You just play well, and then you're fine. Now here, upcoming is something really, really cool. Just another way that he shows that at gear is perfectly fine stamina wise. Not only is the proactive control just amazing for regenning stam, as once you spin to win, you have all of this time to regen stamina anyway. So if you're low on stamina, you can just spin, walk back, spin, walk back, spin, walk back, and just regain enough stamina to start spin and then poking. You know what I'm saying? But check this. He spins. Look at stam. Look at his stam. Look. Wait, poke. Wait, poke. Oh, it's so good. So you see, he's waiting, but he's not waiting long enough for the combo to reset. So he's still able to get second, third hits of the combo, specifically the third hit. But he's waiting just long enough for his stamina to come back in between pokes. Look at this. Spin. Stam comes back. Poke. Poke. Stam comes back. Poke. He didn't get the third hit, but it was unnecessary. But still, like, you could wait. Like, you get the idea. Like, that idea. Poke. Poke. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. Like, getting stamina back in between pokes, you could totally do that. You could totally do that for your purposes. I'm not 100% if you could get the third hit, but in between the spin to win and poke city, oh yeah. Now it won't work on specific enemies that recover really quickly from stagger, like Lox. Lox is very, very particular, so it is just precise timing. You spin. If you don't get sent back, you want to move left or right to avoid the trampling knockback so that you don't get sent back in the future. And then you poke, poke, poke. If you don't do perfect timing, like click and hold, poke, poke, poking, the third hit won't make it in time and the Lox will hit you. Bad. That's not good. But if you are on time, which you should just by click and holding, then the third hit of even the Iron at gear quality 4 with some good polearm levels will indeed stagger the Lox, and you will stagger lock the Lox. So even with mountain tier food, with an Iron at gear, with some nice polearm levels, you can stagger lock a Lox. Use the at gear, use it like Scales, he's a pro. And it will bring you good results. Play smartly. Use proactive control. Know when the niche parry is super optimal. And definitely make those fermenters early. He is kicking all sorts of ass. Part of the reason his stam is so nice in the swamp. No cold debuff. Yeah. Lovely. So, yeah. Do what Scales is doing. I'm definitely going to do what Scales is doing potion-wise. That's a smart play. Genius play. In production. And look at that nighttime. 7 chain. Oh yeah. At gears, what's his polearms? His polearms are a little lower than I would have them at this point. 30. That's it. That's all it is. For an experienced player. I mean, probably, 1,000 hours under his belt? It's very minimal. So yeah, I know you can do it even as a new player or just returning player for Mistlands. Just want to see what this is about, Xbox player. You could totally do this. I have complete faith that you can do this, that you can emulate these strategies. No doubt about it. Just I would have better food, fire arrows, and the bronze mace as well. That's it. All right. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Scale's YouTube channel will be in my description and pinned in the comment. Yeah, here I am. Lovely. Just an amazing video, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys some other time. Bye.